are licensed and
licensed,
unsupervised.
Yes.
And we are licensed because we are both licensed cosmetology professionals that are over 40.
Yeah.
So that just means
Yeah.
that we've been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
Long enough to have a whole lot of stories and collect all your secrets. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then unsupervised because
no one's here watching us.
no one's here, and I think that's for the better.
I agree.
Well, was it Rebecca who said one day when we were like just having one of our moments? This is what happens in leadership. Her and I start having perimenopause moments, and we start talking,
and everyone just looks at us
like we're insane.
Yeah.
And then I want to say Rebecca said something about like putting a microphone in front of us, like, oh my God, you two should have a microphone. Just put a microphone in front of you. And so here we are.
So here we put a
microphone and the
front of
shield.
us. Yeah.
That we don't have up there, right?
It doesn't really work because I got this for free from an unknown website. We'll say it's great because it has this.
It has a dance party.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that they just like stop and like watch us because we're entertaining.
Yes, because we're nuts.
Because we have random things to say and we don't care what you think about it.
We do.
That's what it is. They're not caring what they think. Like, we've let go of that control in life.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah.
Something happened, and I'm blaming perimenopause because I have no other reason to blame it. Like, things are happening, and I don't know why, because even my own personality is shifting in certain ways where I am happy to, for example, I love people. I told you I love people.
Yeah.
And I went shopping. Well, I was going to go shopping, and I walked into a place, and I was there about 2 seconds, and I saw a line. And I immediately looked at that frickin' line, and I was like, there's nothing I need. Let me get the F out of here. And I did. And so.
Yeah. And
that's not normal. For me.
Right. Yeah. For me, I think it actually, and like, I think for me it started a couple of years ago when like people were, it was trauma.
Oh. Yeah.
For me it was trauma.
Probably.
Yeah. Like I was in a situation where my problems behind the chair seemed so much bigger than everyone else's behind the chair. Like that they were like telling me about their ridiculous, like, whatever. Everyone's problems are important. But
right, they are important, but at the time, I think it's maybe we could like tell a little about ourselves so people have context. So tell your little spiel of you.
So the trauma I'm talking about. So he's great now, but my son did struggle with a leukemia journey, and so as a hairdresser dealing with a big trauma like that, it was really hard for me to just kind of like see through my own trauma and accept anyone else's. And so it forced me to then look at myself and decide that I didn't care what their thoughts were about what I said. Because I had to say it.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. And like, however I said my kid has cancer, what it was is I would say Tyler has cancer, and then I have to manage your feelings about it.
Yeah.
And like, I can't manage your feelings about my kid having cancer, so then it kind of started being like, I can't care what you think.
Yeah.
So for me, as an incredibly sensitive person, and I've always avoided the line, I'm the person that walk into Marshall's, and I'm like, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And
like,
I'm just over here trying to look to make new friends.
And I'm like, absolutely, because I'm hiding from you. I'm hiding from you.
You probably were.
I am, yeah. Hiding. But like for me, so it's different because for me, I had to like work through it and identify the fact that like I can't be sensitive about your feelings about what I'm doing because I have enough all by myself over here.
Right.
I can't manage yours.
Right.
And so I think then also being 40 and like walking through, because my perimenopause showed up in rage. Blinding rage over silly things. Like real silly things. And I was like, so doctor, I'm having a problem.
Yeah.
Like I want to kill my husband because he told me to do the dishes. So I think it kind of just like went together. Yeah. Yeah, for me.
And I had a similar experience, but not, but it was a longer time ago when it was earlier on in my journey, like when my mom had cancer. And I walked through, like still I was behind the chair.
Yeah.
And so like the people that knew my mom had like extreme amounts of empathy and had like the right questions and thoughts around it. But the people that did not, it was like, oh, you're walking through, like, my life was literally insane. I had 3 small children, a husband, and a mom who was sick. And I
Oh,
was getting
yeah.
called randomly and doing all those things. So that was, and
Trauma.
I lost a couple clients because there were a couple times where, like, the schedule, like, I was needed at the hospital or something, and I
Right.
totally, like, spaced out
Yeah.
because I was organizing who was picking up my kids and doing all that. So yeah, it's not the same, but in a way,
But it
it is
is.
being behind the chair and, like, then somebody coming in and, I don't know, whining that their coffee order was wrong or something, and, like, that's a valid thing to be upset about. You paid money for
Irritated.
your coffee. I get that, but, like, in the grand scheme of cancer,
Right.
it's like, F you.
Well, it's crazy because ultimately, us going through a cancer journey with someone else having cancer is what forged us in fire to create who we are today.
For sure.
I mean,
100%.
truly,
Mhm.
I feel like going through it's unique.
Mhm.
And unless you've had that experience,
Mhm.
and it doesn't matter that it was my son or her mom,
Right.
like
Right.
the outside experiences are relatively the same. Like, for example, my son would have to spend 5 days in the hospital, so he would have to get a treat. This is horrifying. So, like,
Mhm.
people don't want to hear this, but like, he would have to be in the hospital and connected to things because the medication he was going to be on could ultimately kill him. It was
Right.
getting him to the point where things were not working so poorly.
Right.
But on top of that, if I showed up on Monday and he was not well enough for them to make him that sick, it got postponed a week or two. So now I've rescheduled all my appointments for the week. I've rescheduled my whole life. I've gotten a babysitter for Mia. I've gotten
Right.
drivers for all the school and all the things.
Yep.
And I get there on Monday, and then they're like, he's not well enough for me
We're
to do
not
this.
doing it. You just rearranged your whole life, but nope.
Yeah. So like, it didn't matter who I talked to that day.
Yeah.
It didn't matter, and like what their feelings about it didn't matter, and like their encouragement didn't matter because I just had to process through. That's a lot. That's heavy.
Mhm.
And then also on top of it, not having a single human to talk to about it because of COVID, because leukemia is like, you can't be around sick people or people that have any kind of ailment of any kind, really.
Right.
You can't be around certain kinds of dust, certain kinds of hay. So
Yeah.
it's so incredibly isolating on top of it that me being able to give behind the chair was just not possible.
Yeah, it's hard. And that goes to something else, like in our industry, like, we are licensed professional hairstylists. Nowhere in our curriculum is a psychological degree of any kind.
Right.
And yet we are referred often to. I mean, my sister's a hairstylist in Illinois, and she wears an apron that says the therapist is in.
Yes.
Like, people refer to it. I even had a client recently, like, talking about, I couldn't wait to come because, like, she was saying that her last hairstylist would tell her more about her problems instead of letting her talk about hers. And she was like, that's like a whole part of the thing. And I'm like,
right.
And it is, like, to a degree, but also it can be a lot because, like,
You're a person,
I'm a
and
whole person,
yeah.
and I am also an empath. And so for me, things get sticky. And when people are sharing, I'm like, I go home and then I'm pondering about it, and, like, I hope that worked out for them. I hope that conversation with the parent went well. I hope, fill in the blank of all the things.
Yes.
And then all that does is take my mind from where, like,
it needs to
be on other
right.
stuff. Yeah.
But I also think that doing hair for 20 years has given us patterns, and we've given ourselves like accommodations, if you will, on where to put that in our brain.
Yeah.
You know, and there's certain things that, like, I won't even breach the subject with people. Like, if they're getting too emotional, I will absolutely try to encourage them in that moment, obviously, but I will try to shift the conversation away because I want this to be a moment that they're remembering in a positive way, and I don't want this to be the moment where they bathroom floored it and they never come back to me because I'm the defining moment in their life where they, like, I'm just trying to do your hair, just trying to make it look nice.
Just trying to make you look good, feel good, so you can go and be healed and get help and do all of those things.
Yeah. And I am absolutely the stylist that will tell you to get a therapist. Because I've been in therapy for 13 years straight. And I couldn't be who I am today without that.
No.
Without that work.
No. Same. Yeah.
And I know for a fact that I use a lot of my therapy and coaching now.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Because people are always, you probably get you know what to say all the time. You
Yeah.
just seem to know what to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
Mhm.
because we did work
Uh-huh.
and we understand a little bit more about how the human brain works.
Right. Well, and then also, so a little bit more about me, like going a little deeper. I feel like I have a degree in diplomacy, um, based on how I was raised. Grew up in church isn't really enough to what I'm saying of how I grew up. We've talked about it, that the fact of like the 80s and 90s. So we only knew, like, there was no internet,
Right.
so like take away the internet, and we only knew what was on the local news, what was in books, and what we heard from other people. And eventually, I feel like peopled, and the internet came, and we knew more, and we were like, wait a minute, is that?
Hold on a second.
Again, there's only so much information at your fingertips at that time.
Yeah. Well, and like when you're in a space that you're the one growing up in it,
Yeah.
you're like trusting the adults and everyone around you to have the actual say and the actual information. And if what they have is potentially flawed and false,
It's not even their fault.
right. I think most.
Right.
I was going to say I think most of it is because we're humans and we jack
Yes.
stuff up all the time.
Right. I'm an optimist by design. Like,
Yeah.
I have worked to be this way. Like, I remember telling my therapist, I want to be half full, but
Mhm.
I'm not. I don't see it that way. And so it was like, okay, let's figure that out. And
Yeah.
13 years, and I don't think anyone would ever think I was ever pessimistic.
Huh.
But, like,
No.
I just, and maybe I was optimistic, but just knew that I didn't believe it.
You were like trying to make yourself think you were,
Yeah.
or present a certain way.
Right. But one thing with diplomacy, I feel like I have, is because I have parents that believe very strongly in one thing, and then I went to a private school, and again, we don't have the internet. We don't know everything we know today.
Right,
And so I remember, like, I wasn't allowed to listen to secular music or the radio at all, and I'm in junior high, and I am being introduced to things like ICP, and which is a Detroit-based, gross, dirty rap company, whatever. But either way, I like can't listen to anything but like Jesus Loves Me, and I'm listening to like Chicken Hunting, and we're kicking dead heads across the like. So like there had to have been some sort of diplomacy there for me to balance it.
That's true.
I was great at lying.
I was great at lying.
Until I wasn't.
Well, I think that's the thing. A lot of women our age that I've heard people are like, and even some doctors that I've watched online that are like men that are like talking about, they're trying to educate the husbands that are in the space that are
Right.
sharing, and they're like, listen, you're beholding something really amazing,
Mhm.
and what's happening is a leveling up. It's not that she's becoming like no more. It's that the putting on for the people pleasing. If there was like, I know that's something I would have never called myself a people pleaser prior to counseling
Right.
when I started heavily in 2019. Never would have labeled myself as that, but then discovered that I was,
Yes.
and was like, oh, for fuck's sake, here we are.
Uh-huh.
And in trying to navigate out of that, but then something amazing happens after you turn
Yeah.
40 and you start shifting. You're like, I actually have no more F's to give.
Yeah. I don't
And
care.
I don't know.
That's for you to. I did my work. You do yours.
And yeah, and it becomes really weird because for so long you're like, was I faking it? And I don't think we were faking it. I think we're just
No.
moving in different seasons, but it's foreign and it even feels weird to us.
Yes. Yes.
In so many ways.
Yes. Yes. Well, and I'm listening to a book, and this is a book where like she's right. Like,
It's fine.
okay, Mel Robbins.
Mm,
Gotta be motherfucking right. How annoying.
I love her. What
I
book
know.
are you doing?
Let them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I know. It's like,
And you probably okay. And I knew of the let them theory, but I did not know the original story for a long time of how it started. And it started with her and her son's conversation. on the
it's in the
prom.
prologue of the
Uh-huh.
book. I know.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, why do you have to be so fucking relatable right this minute,
I
Mel?
know.
I was like pissed at her.
Yeah, but it's
And she knows it. And like, I feel, I met Mel. I met her. I know.
where did you meet
I have like
her
a
at?
picture with her. I know.
I love that.
She was at Euphoria Global when she released her first book,
Mm,
the 54321 book. I don't know what it's called. Is it called
I don't-
54321?
maybe.
I don't remember what it's called.
Wait, no, high five. Is it high five?
The 5-second rule.
5-second
The
rule.
5-second
It was
rule.
something. Yeah.
So she spoke at Euphoria Global, I don't know, 10 years ago or something, for the 5-second rule. And that was one of my first like audiobooks. And it changed my life. I did not know that I had control. I don't know why no one told me. I don't know why my brain didn't tell. And then that was also when I started noticing that she knew more than I did about me. I felt like, and so I started following her, and then
I mean,
how rude!
The one phone and device we did not think about.
Rebecca, we're not answering it. So anyways, so I think it was her that like, so I had a stylist that told me that I was ADHD. Did you know that that's how I realized I was ADHD?
No, but also, wait, you can't have a Is that what you've been trying to do to me?
No.
I'm kidding. No, there's just certain things in your journey that you talk and then you say things, and then I'll be like, huh, and then you kind of look at me like,
Oh, no.
And I'm like,
whoops.
I don't know where to get the test at.
No, I just
I
assume everyone is, maybe. I don't know.
We probably all are. I have jokingly said, I'm like, I'm probably somewhere on a spectrum, but I also feel like we all kind of are. And that is not to make light of like someone who has gone through the proper process and gotten diagnosed and all of that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying because of our age and where we land, no one was doing shit about any of this when we were kids, and they just told us, for me, they just told me to sit down and shut up, of which I did not.
Right. Well, and I also think when we say everyone, we mean everyone in our circle. And everyone we hang out with is typically neurodivergent. Like, I'm not talking about the business people at the table because guess what? I make it weird.
Oh,
so
no.
it's not them. They're not.
They might be. I think they're masking.
I don't know.
We don't get to see all. See, this is the thing. Every person you meet is like a big pizza pie. And we only get to see like a portion of the slice. I was just talking with my husband about this last night.
Dang it.
Because he was like, I see all of you and all of that. Because he was talking about like my passion and my fire. And at first I was thinking he was referring to the negative side of that. He was like, no, but like everyone gets to see your passion and your fire.
Yeah.
But I get all of it.
Okay.
And I was like the good, the bad, the ugly. And I was like, damn, you do. And he was like, and I signed up for it and I'm not going anywhere. And I was like, I love you. Thank you.
Thank God we have like phenomenal husbands, both of us.
Yes.
I mean, truly, they choose us for us.
Truly.
Like,
because I think I would have ran away from myself.
I would have for sure burned me at the stakes.
I would have been like, you're done.
Oh,
I am so done with you.
I have hated me so many times.
Oh my gosh.
I have hated me so many times. I do have to say though, last year I really worked on like loving me and like being good with what I say, being good with decisions I make, being good with like being intentional, taking that beat I just took to like not say and just really being proud of myself. And I'm happy to be there.
Yeah.
And I watch other people, I'm like, oh, you just need to love yourself. But it's not easy. Like, it's not like I had fun.
No.
I listened to books. I looked at myself in the mirror a lot.
I was just going to say a lot of mirror work and like acceptance. Because we're not, I follow this girl on Facebook, Lively, something Liz. But I love her. She's all about body positivity.
Okay.
But she's a mom and a wife and all the things. But she posted something the other day, and it was just pictures of her on the beach. And there was like one where it's, you know, the huge ocean and then her.
Yeah.
And then it like zooms in and shows like different body parts. And then she goes, imagine the amount of propaganda.
Oh.
Imagine the amount of propaganda that it took for us women and people in general to focus on the body part instead of the whole what's happening in that picture. I know, right? And we work in the beauty industry. Like, I'm not telling you to not love yourself and care for yourself and get your hair done so you can present yourself the best that you want to or however you choose to every single day. I'm not telling you that because I think that goes a long way. That whole dopamine dressing movement, wearing dopamine makeup, whatever it is, jewelry, like, it makes you feel better, and you do then go out and feel like you can conquer the things. However, I think it took a lot of stuff. There's a lot working against us in terms of our mind to see ourselves and love ourselves as is, to
So I have something
to go
exciting
on
to
the
add to
opposite.
that. So I follow like Allure and like Harper's Bazaar and Vogue and all of those on all of my social media because my goal in life is a creative arts Emmy. I'm gonna put that out there.
She's gonna get one.
So I just I follow certain different things, and I lost my train of thought.
No, you said you follow all of those magazines.
Magazines, yes. So Harper's Bazaar is usually a little bit edgier on those three, right?
Yeah.
So Harper's Bazaar for the last year has been a little bit more edgier in terms of like these are the trends. These are the trends. And I'm like, okay, Harper, like I love that, but like no one's doing that.
Right.
Well, guess what? This year, Vogue and Allure both posted that this year is about bold haircuts, bold color, bold eye color, bold blush, bold. And I was like, oh, that's gonna help so much because it's gonna push people to go outside their comfort zone, and that's where that lives, is outside your comfort zone.
And just try new things or something different, or
And I also think that like one thing you said is like people come to us to get their hair. Here's the thing, like it's not about getting your roots done. It's about you feeling good about yourself.
Yes.
And it's just
period.
Yeah.
Like,
and COVID changed that. I really feel like COVID changed it. Before that, we were the place to go for so much. And that whole experience changed things.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think people were, they got told by law people, they were telling people to Google and look up how to cut their own hair and how to do these things. And people did. And, we see a lot of, like, I know you have too. We've corrected a lot of those things in the last couple years.
Yes.
Because I feel like people were managing decently-ish at home.
For a while.
Yes. And then they started realizing, because, okay, let's say I have a little bit of root here and I put a box color on up there. Like, it's just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not, but, if my hair grows on average from here to here in about a year, well, now those things are starting to show up more where they see them and they're like, oh my God, I don't know why this looks this way, and or they're cutting, and they're like, oh, I was just grabbing this piece and doing this. And I realized then I looked in the back of my head one day, or I saw a photo of myself. I've heard that.
Yes.
And back of my hair was all jaggedy. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, that would explain why.
Well,
so I think people managed. I think they're okay, but now they're starting to come back because also I feel like people want to feel better about themselves. And the world is hard.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. But
and I also think that, like, so I learned something interesting the other day, and it's just got me going in a thing. Like, it's still stuck there. The tab's open. Did you know that they don't use chlorine in the UK?
I learned that in the last week. I think
Did
we were
I
together.
say that?
I think we were
Out
together,
loud?
maybe.
I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, so
And
why does that matter?
Rep.
Yes. Why does that matter? Well, let's find out. Because we have chlorine in our motherfucking water.
Everywhere.
We drink it here. It's on the outside of our hair. It's everywhere. And it's not good for you.
No.
But anyways, so we were talking about how our water, and I think since COVID, and I only say COVID because it shut everything down. So it created a lot of restarts.
Yes.
It created a lot of like okay. I digress. They don't have chlorine over there, but that's where we make our color.
Right.
So they don't have it there, and they make our color there, so they don't need to know that there's chlorine in our hair.
Chlorine in our hair. But then we're having challenges with colors. Like I had someone recently who, and also the different medications that people are going on, and it's helping people in all of these other facets of life, and then they're either going bald or their color is getting jacked up. And then, like, for example, this might not mean anyone not in our industry, but I had someone the other day, blank canvas. They just went through something where they're in college. They had to have their whole head shaved and a shunt put in their head due to, like, a cancer-ish something. I don't know all of the details.
Sure.
But now they've got, like, this much hair in their head, and they're like, they're used to doing all the fun colors, want to go back to a fun color. They bring in some inspo photos of, like, red and violet, want to lean more violet.
Yeah.
My bowl of color, I used an RV formula. I literally used all of the things. I added purple drops. I did all the things. My color, it looked so purple in the bowl.
Yeah.
Why did it process completely red? completely red. It was wild. And
Yeah.
so there's
To that point.
medications and things living on people's hair. And we were talking about that in regard to like the GLP-1s.
Yes.
It's causing people to lose their hair. And now we have more questions than answers because we just
Yes.
learned that the reason it's causing people to lose their hair is that it's coating the hair with DHT, which DHT is the male pattern baldness
Yeah.
hormone.
Right.
And so now there's,
This
kind
is
of-
just like a potential new issue. And then
Yeah.
on top of it, it can lower people's DHT also.
Right.
So there's like limited information.
Right.
That's not an us problem. We
No.
can't fix these things.
no.
But this is at our table. This is
It's-
at our doorstep. And
Yeah.
so I feel like it's all connected.
Yeah.
And, you know, the fact of the matter is, like, our water is harsher
Yeah.
and our products are softer.
Yes.
And so, like, we were talking about this chelating thing, which
Mhm.
I never heard that word until like 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
5 years ago. And then I started learning about Malibu because that was like who started it. And
Mhm.
why have we not been listening to them this whole time?
I know.
Because they were right this whole time.
Well, I think because the transformation from our products being changed was slow. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't like overnight that we went from like these super harsh products to like calmer products.
Right.
And there was only a couple of brands, right?
Mhm.
That's why you had
Yeah.
Euphoria for so long the way it was, because
Yeah.
there weren't other brands that were really doing it. But now you have
Mhm.
every big major brand of color and
Right.
professional product have leaned more on the gentler side, like ammonia free and PBB free and all of
Mhm.
these things.
Right.
I think I said that wrong.
PPD.
I
Yeah.
think I
But
said
that's
PBD.
okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they lean. It was a slow fade of that, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But for example, we've been doing it 20 years, so I mean,
Right.
5 years in, you could have whatever the heck was on your hair. It didn't
It
matter. If
didn't
you had
matter.
it, I could put it on there, and it was going to eat through whatever
100%.
and do its job. And
Right.
now it's a little bit softer, gentler, which is good in theory, but it's causing problems with the hair because now we've had, it was imbalanced this way, and now it's imbalanced that way.
Correct.
That's all that's
And
happening.
I think what's happening is it's reflecting upon us,
Yes.
and that's really not the truth.
No,
That's actually not the truth because we haven't changed anything.
no,
Our techniques have only gotten better.
yes,
We've only learned more about the hair. We've learned more about the product. We've learned more about ingredients. So
Yes.
truly, we're more educated,
Mhm.
but the public is not because they don't understand that
Right.
this has been created. And I don't know that anyone's going to be making money by talking about it either.
For sure. Probably
Unless
not.
there's
I
like
don't
a
know.
big chelating company that comes out and tells us all about the great things. But
And send help.
yeah, like
like SOS. We would like the
Yeah.
help. And it's not everyone. I know we're talking about it right now.
No,
It's not
yeah.
everyone. It's not every time. It's
No.
not like, I mean, if we were to look at it on a total picture of the salon business, like it's maybe 5 to 10% that those things are happening. I feel like in terms of like the color not being.
but I think it's increasing.
It is. That's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
it's not. Sorry. This is apparently something else that I didn't turn off. Anyway.
No, my
Um,
favorite thing is that we decided what time we were going to come here this morning.
Yeah, we did. That's how we are. Maybe. I don't know.
That's us, Becky and Nay, licensed and
Unsupervised. Until next time, stay unsupervised.